If you suspect that something is off, pursue it. Tonight on our news, live at 7.
Living and caring for a son that has cerebral palsy, while at the same time fighting for his justice in the legal system for years. Tonight we hear from a family who has been living this nightmare.
As the Atlantis resort closes one of its towers, employees are offered separation packages. I'm Anthony McDermott. We'll have those details for you tonight in our news.
Plus, on the other side of the law, a police officer behind bars accused of raping a 16-year-old girl on Mayagüana, where the incident reportedly happened. Straight ahead. Then in our news at 7:30, what's the status? Nearly 3 months after a sales agreement was signed, the Grand Bahama MP questions the progress of the Grand Lucayan Resort deal. Our news live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to our news live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Candino Knowles. We are learning more about a voluntary separation offer at Atlantis as workers received emails. Our Anthony McDermott, he has the internal messages and what the packages include in a story coming up in about 5 minutes. But before we get to his reporting, amendments to the Parliamentary Elections Act raising eyebrows in the House of Assembly, with at least one opposition MP accusing government of dragging the country along instead of bringing it along. East Grand Bahama MP Kwesi Thompson says the public deserves more clarity on the changes which pave the way for voter cards with biometric technology as soon as the end of this month. National Security Minister Wayne Munro insists the transition should be smooth, especially for those who already have an e-passport. He insists government isn't reinventing the wheel, pointing out that biometric voting systems are already being used in countries including India, Ghana, Brazil, and even right here in the region in Jamaica and St. Kitts and Nevis. F&M Deputy Leader Shannon Don Cartwright also weighed in, questioning whether the public has had enough say in what's being proposed.
While we hear the honourable member, we say that we just have general concerns and some specific concerns, but the fact that there's not been widespread consultation, Madam Speaker, and to the point of the honourable member for East Grand Bahama, we don't want the Bahamian, we want the Bahamian people to be brought along, not dragged along as we change the voting culture of voters in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
And Munro, the National Security Minister Wayne Munro, he added that the current system is vulnerable to errors and inconsistencies. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Philip Davis jumped in to defend his government's intentions.
Perhaps what they're vexed about is they didn't have the time to do it. We are not introducing a law on biometrics, you know. What we are introducing is the process under which we could get to biometrics. The law for biometrics was introduced by yourselves in 2020. You all were moving to get it done, right? But the member for Kalani called his election before you'll get it done.
All right, we've got more from the House of Assembly coming up in our news at 7:30. A police officer accused of raping a 16-year-old girl is behind bars. Constable Nigel Brown Jr. is accused of raping the teenager on June 16th in Mayagüana when she went to his home. The 33-year-old was not required to enter a plea to the charge when he stood before Assistant Chief Magistrate Carolyn Vogt Evans. Bail was denied, but Brown is expected back in court on November 27 to receive voluntary bill of indictment papers. Those will allow the prosecution to bypass preliminary hearings in the lower court and directly present an indictment to the higher court, such as the Supreme Court, for serious criminal offenses. And a 27-year-old Abaco man is dead after allegedly shooting himself on Tuesday night. Abaco police say they got a call around 8 p.m. alerting them to the incident that unfolded in a Bahama Palm Shores home. When officers arrived at the scene, they say they found the man unresponsive, suffering from a gunshot wound and a firearm nearby. He was pronounced dead by the local doctor. And it's a story that's grabbed headlines this week, a medical malpractice case against a local doctor and a judge awarding a local family nearly $4 million. That family is now speaking out, telling our Joshua Williams about their more than 10-year push for justice for their child who sustained traumatic brain injuries during birth. They say the victory in court, though, doesn't make up for the challenges they've had to endure.
It was supposed to be the happiest moment of a young couple's lives here at the Princess Margaret Hospital, the birth of their first child. But what happened in the delivery room on August 5, 2012 was far from a dream. In fact, it turned into a complete nightmare that played out in the legal system for years. Their ordeal was revealed in a court ruling that we reported on earlier this week. A Supreme Court judge awarded $3.6 million to the family of the boy who sustained traumatic brain injuries during birth that have left him in a near-vegetative state. On Thursday, Justice Lauren Klein found that Dr. Gregory Carey was responsible for brain damage that the baby, now 12 years old, suffered due to lack of oxygen and blood flow to the brain before his delivery in August 2012. Carey, who had delivered more than 1,000 babies during his 30-year practice, denied negligence and blamed genetics for the child's condition. I spoke with the boy's parents today. They wanted to remain anonymous to protect their privacy. His mom and dad told me they knew something was wrong from the delivery room.
I did voice my feelings that, hey, you need to hurry up. My wife is really exhausted, tired. You need to hurry up and get our son out. It hurts because this doctor, my wife, knew for quite some time. We put our trust in him. We gave, he assured us that everything was going to be okay. But hey, it didn't happen that way.
From his younger sister to his grandmother, it's a burden the whole family has had to take on. Their son suffers from cerebral palsy and seizures.
I would not put him in a school. I would not risk him being taken advantage of because he cannot speak up for himself.
And helping their son get the treatment he needs has also been costly.
At one point, his medication was up to $1,500 a month. We had to pay a courier to fly in his medication because the pharmacy home did not carry it. Doctor appointments, the tests, all the blood work. He has traveling costs, EEGs every 3 months, everything. It's a very big expense on the family.
And while they do believe justice has been served, the family also says they've heard of similar cases where others didn't get the same results.
We are flawed human beings. We live on earth. People make mistakes. And so to any family who may be going through this, if you suspect that something is off within your gut, pursue it. Don't write it off. Go and seek legal advice. The worst that could happen is they say, guys, you don't have a viable case, but it does not hurt to at least try.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks so much for that story, Josh. If you want to see it again, head over to rnews.bs right now, and you can find it on the Our News Bahamas Facebook page. Well, we go now to Atlantis, where employees receiving separation opportunities today. Government telling us the initiative was only intended for foreign workers. But in this report, our Bertie McDermott tells us emails sent to employees with the options available to them.
The Atlantis Resort is moving forward with a voluntary early retirement and separation opportunity for its employees. A letter from its president and managing director Audrey Oswald to team members gave a limited number of employees the option of voluntary separation opportunities. It comes as the hotel prepares to temporarily close its Coral Towers on August 17th. The Executive Vice President of Administration and Strategic Initiatives, Vaughn Roberts, told the Tribune newspaper it was consistent with closures in previous years during slow months. In an email dated June 10th, Oswald said, the opportunity is voluntary and available to team members who meet specific eligibility criteria such as length of service and/or role within the organization. Another email to employees outlined this process and how to apply. This email also reveals employees will receive communication from HR advising of your status on or before July 25th, 2025. An email to all supervisors and managerial staff from the Senior Vice President of Human Resources says eligible employees include all team members levels 2 to 7. It also outlines packages for the approved team members. In Category 1, ages 60 to 64 or level 2 to 7, employees would receive a $4,000 retirement package, accrued unused vacation time, 4 weeks payment per year of service up to 48 weeks, and an additional payment of 4 weeks salary. Employees in Category 2 under 60 years old would receive accrued unused vacation time, 4 weeks payment per year of service prorated up to 48 weeks, and an additional payment of 4 weeks' salary. And with the Atlantis Resort closing one of its towers, that means less room capacity for the country, making that situation worse. Time will tell the impact that will have on tourism arrivals. Reporting for our news, I'm Berthany McDermott.
All right, thanks so much for that, Berthany. Well, Labor Director Howard Thompson confirming to our news that the department is aware of the current exercise with management employees at Atlantis Resort. In a statement, Thompson telling our news top executives at the resort have been in communication with government in this matter for a few weeks now. He says both supervisors and managers interested in accepting early retirement and or separation packages were told to communicate their interests. He said, quote, I'm advised that over 200 employees expressed an interest in accepting the separation package. However, the resort only accepted 70 of those management employees. This number includes both Bahamian and foreign management workers. End quote. Now, Thompson also addressed the anticipated closure of Coral Towers. He advised it's a yearly routine exercise approaching the slow season, confirming that there will be no termination or downsizing, but that employees will be taking their usual vacation leave during that time. Now, he says both the union and executives at Atlantis have been in constant communication over this matter. All right, we've got much more to get to tonight, but for now, it's time for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson, he's standing by in the Weather Center. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Gideon, and a happy hump day, everybody. A very warm day around the islands. Temperatures getting into the 90s with those feels like temperature approaching the triple digits. We are still warm outside. 86 degrees is our current temperature with an east-southeast wind at 12 miles per hour. So a little bit of a breeze, but it's not shaving much off the feels like temperature. Still feels very warm. Feels like 92. Current temperatures around the islands right now, 85 in Freeport, 84 in Marsh Harbour, Abaco. We pick up 85 in Governor's Harbour as well. 86 here in the capital and in Great Harbour Key. Alistown, Bimini, also 86. 84 Nickel, San Andres, and you have some showers and thunderstorms nearby. Central Bahamas, 86. Kemps Bay. Then we pick up a string of 85s across the remainder of the islands. Arthurstown, Cat Island, Cobbett Townsend, Salvador Port, Nelson and Deadman's Key. And in the southeast Bahamas, more 85s and 86 popping up there with 86 in Colonel Hill, Cricket Island, Providenciales. 87, Matthewtown, deep south. You are the warm spot this evening. Satellite radar composite, that big upper level low sliding slowly towards the west, but it's dragging some dry air mass towards the west as well behind it. But on the tail end, we have some moisture coming up from the south. That's generating a few showers and isolated thunderstorms. We will continue to see one or two of those tonight, through early parts of tomorrow. Once it gets out of here, high pressure is going to build across us. A Saharan dust air layer will be in place, and we are looking for some very dry and hot conditions for the remainder of the week. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Coming up in sports, JJ is back, and suddenly the Liberty looked like the team we saw in the first 9 games of the season. So she didn't go for 50 like John said, but a win is a win.
A win is...
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
He took a PVC pipe because I questioned him whilst I was 7 months pregnant, and he hit me, crossed my stomach with it, pushed me down on the bed, and he would rape me.
I told his daughters he's a rapist because this is what he's been doing to me when they're in there.
He always told me that this was something that fathers do with their daughters to express love and affection.
Because I am a woman, my children are presumed to take the citizenship of their father.
For God's sake, I mean, just morally, domestically, we are entitled to...
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Martinut. Let's do show. Great news for the New York Liberty, bad news for the rest of the league. Jonquel Jones is back, and the defending champs are whole again. Last night, the reigning WNBA Finals MVP made her long-awaited return to the Liberty lineup and did not disappoint. She finished with 18 points, grabbed 9 rebounds, and helped New York control the paint as they defeated the Indiana Fever 98-84. It marked her first game back since an ankle injury on June 19th, and without Jones, New York struggled through a 10-game span, going just 5-5.
Team Bahamas closed out the World Clubs tournament with a strong podium finish for a second consecutive year. The team of Sienna Jones, Marlo Pinder, Alana Pryfin, and Connor Watkins claimed the bronze medal at the prestigious equestrian event in Le Mont-Bevant, France. Coached by Rai Birch, the team competed against some of the top youth riders from around the globe and delivered a series of consistent performances to secure their spot on the medal stand.
The New York Yankees are in the midst of a heated race for the American League East, and Jazz Chisholm Jr. was the catalyst behind last night's pivotal win against the division leaders. Chisholm hit his 18th home run of the season in the Yankees' 5-4 win over the Toronto Blue Jays last night at the Rogers Center in Toronto. He drove in a 3-run homer in the first inning off Max Scherzer to give New York an early 3-0 lead. The Yankees snapped Toronto's 11-game home win streak and cut the AL East gap to just 3 games. That'll do it for Our Sports. Stay tuned to Our News at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as countries may now be able to sue each other over climate change. We'll tell you the international court ruling paving the way. Plus, we will not accept a bad deal. Canada's Prime Minister not backing down from proposed Trump tariffs. And a strategic shift. Colombia reinforces ties with Haiti amid strained relations with the Trump administration. The story when our news returns.
He took a PVC pipe because I questioned him. Whilst I was 7 months pregnant, and he hit me, crossed my stomach with it, pushed me down on the bed, and he would rape me.
I told his daughters he's a rapist because that's what he's been doing to me when they're now.
He always told me that this was something that fathers do with their daughters to express love and affection.
Because I am a woman, my children are presumed to take the citizenship of their father.
For God's sake, I mean, just morally, domestically, we are entitled to correct the problem that was done in 1972, 1973 when the Constitution was made.
We are overrun with sexual predators, but even worse, we are overrun with people who protect them.
This is Our News. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. Countries may now be able to sue each other over climate change, including over historic emissions of planet-warming gases, after a landmark decision by a top United Nations court. The International Court of Justice in The Hague, Netherlands, on Wednesday said that untangling who caused which part of climate change could be difficult. The ruling is non-binding, though, and legal experts say it could have wide-ranging consequences. Now, the court ruled that developing nations have a right to seek damages for the impacts of climate change, such as destroyed buildings and infrastructure. Canada will not accept a bad deal with the United States, according to Prime Minister Mark Carney, who says his country will not settle to simply reach a trade agreement with the United States. This as a deadline of August 1st looms before U.S. President Donald Trump begins to impose new tariffs. Carney told reporters in Ontario that They are pursuing a deal that will be in the best interest of Canadians. Now, U.S. importers buying goods from Canada will face a 35% tax if no deal is reached before the deadline. A court request from the U.S. Justice Department to unseal grand jury records tied to federal investigations into Jeffrey Epstein has been denied. According to a public order released on Wednesday, the request is one of three made to judges in New York and Florida seeking to unseal the records. But according to the order by District Judge Robin Rosenberg, the records related to grand juries convened in West Palm Beach in 2005 and 2007 that had investigated Epstein will not be released. A Justice Department spokesperson did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Colombia reinforcing ties with Haiti in a recent visit as the country pursues a strategic shift amid mounting domestic challenges and strained relations with the Trump administration. President Gustavo Petro arrived in gang-controlled Port-au-Prince for his second visit to Haiti this year to booster ties with the embattled Caribbean nation. This as 17 Colombian mercenaries remain jailed for the 2021 assassination of Haitian President Jovenel Moïse. Haiti faces a worsening gang conflict, driving nearly 1.3 million people from their homes, despite efforts from the national police. And Belize is being recognized on the global stage for major strides in intellectual property. Deputy Registrar Kay King represented Belize at the World Intellectual Property Organization's recent annual meeting in Geneva. She joined 193 countries to push copyright reform and innovation. Belize signed a key agreement with the U.S. Patent Office and met with WIPO officials to advance a national IP strategy and digital tools. Belize was also praised for becoming the first Caribbean nation to fully digitize its IP registry. Still to come in our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was July 23rd. Then in our news at 7:30.
The Junkanoo saga continues. Culture Minister Mario Bowlegs responds to JCNP pushback. Hear what he has to say just ahead.
Plus, the situation at Atlantis comes back into focus tonight. The union chief says they're now bracing for temporary closure of one of the towers. The story when our news returns.
He took a PVC pipe because I questioned him. Whilst I was 7 months pregnant, and he hit me across my stomach with it, pushed me down on the bed, and he would rape me.
I told his daughters he's a rapist because that's what he's been doing to me when they're in there.
He always told me that this was something that fathers do with their daughters to express love and affection.
Because I am a woman, my children are presumed to take the citizenship of their father.
For God's sake, I mean, just morally, domestically, we are entitled to correct the problem that was done in 1972, 1973 when the Constitution was made.
We are overrun with sexual predators, but even worse, we are overrun with people who protect them.
The consulate is going to be dealing with how life was in the Bahamas in the past, what has changed, and what still remains the same. I'll be taking them down, I hope, not Memory Lane, but Memory Avenue. There's a big area we're going to be covering.
Nassau, get ready for a night you simply won't want to miss. For the first time in over 40 years, experience an evening with Eddie Menace live at the Amphitheater, Nassau Cruise Port.
what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot.
This is our news. Welcome back. On this day in Bahamian history, a prominent Bahamian politician and a professional basketball player was born. Plus, the road leading to the Queen Elizabeth Sports Center was renamed Michael Thompson Boulevard in honor of the former Bahamian basketball star. If you want to learn more about the interesting facts about the day that was July 23rd, you can catch the full Today in History right at rnews.bs. And one of the Bahamas' longest-serving King's Counsel, Harvey Tynes, has died. The Ministry for Grand Bahama confirmed his passing in a statement this afternoon, extending heartfelt condolences to his family, friends, and loved ones. Tynes, a Grand Bahama native, was called to the bar in 1975 and went on to become a respected figure in law, business, public service, and community development. He handled several high-profile cases over the years and even acted as a judge. Tynes was an outspoken voice during the 2016 gender equality referendum. And certainly our condolences go out to his family tonight. If you want to learn more about his story and all of today's top stories, you can visit rnews.bs. That's going to do it for us in News at 7. Joining us now, another Grand Bahama native, our Atalia Hall with the latest headlines. Atalia?
Yes, such sad news to learn about the passing of Harvey Tynes. So condolences, as you would have mentioned, to his family.
Sure.
He will definitely leave his mark. All right. Well, coming up, the British Legion Bahamas branch receives a prestigious award. Here are your latest headlines. First tonight on our news live at 7:30, the Labor Director weighing in on the Atlantis Resort's voluntary separation offer and what it means straight ahead. Also, a temporary shutdown of the Coral Towers could come soon. And later, as criticism mounts, the government says its push to form a national Junkanoo authority is meant to uplift the culture, not dismantle it. But the Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence isn't convinced. But first, 3 months after a deal was announced, questions still linger over the Grand Lucayan sale. East Grand Bahama Member of Parliament Kwesi Thompson is demanding answers. The story when our news live at 7:30 returns.
Candino Notes here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure and hit that phrase like this. Be sure and follow all of the R News social media pages. And hey, don't forget, turn on your notifications so you never miss out on top stories from the team you already trust.
I'm very excited, and I can't believe it. It's it's a dream come true. When she did call me yesterday about it, I didn't know what to believe. Thanks to Mr. Coleman and his whole staff for what they do, and making sure the customers are taken care of, making sure we enjoy the gaming they do give to us. Chances is the great house to play, even down to the staff, is perfect. You're going to marvel.
Keisha, one thing with you ain't never have no money. I just sent Miko inside Wendy's just now because Wendy's 7-day summer promo. Just hot cash, girl. Yes, hot cash. But anyway, we did this one right now. We trying to win this $10,000. And even if you ain't win the $10,000, you can win $2,500 every week. Even if you don't get no ride, Keisha. Anyway, Keisha, I go on Miko Reach. Bye. All you gotta do is upgrade any combo between a 1 to 12 to medium or large. And they get this new spicy chicken club sandwich. But I just sent Miko inside there for from June 24th to August 1st. You ain't getting the Wendy's, that's on you. But don't ask me for no money when I win.
Grand Bahama is home to a unique economic arrangement, with that arrangement between government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority under scrutiny as tensions persist.
It's not our direct responsibility to carry out these other things that people think we should be doing.
We need this to be dealt with quicker than quicker and sooner than sooner.
I have a vision for Grand Bahama, and my vision's actually bigger than my grandfather's ever was.
Watch City in Focus, the story of Freeport with Atalia Hall, starting August 7th only on RTV.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies?
Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online.
Welcome to our news. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Atalia Hall. Well, Labor Director Howard Thompson confirming that the department is aware of the current downsizing exercise occurring with the management employees at the Atlantis Resort. In a statement, Thompson telling our news top executives at the resort have been in communication with government in this matter for a few weeks now. He says both supervisor and management employees interested in accepting early retirement and or separation packages were told to communicate their interests. He said, quote, I am advised that over 200 employees expressed an interest in accepting the separation package. However, the resort only accepted 70 of those management employees. This number includes both Bahamian and foreign management workers, end quote. Thompson also addressing the anticipated closure of the coral towers. He advises it is a yearly routine exercise approaching the slow season, confirming there will be no termination or downsizing, but that employees will be taking their usual vacation leave during that time. He says both the union and executives at Atlantis have been in constant communication with the company regarding this matter. Well, the Bahamas Hotel Catering and Allied Workers Union is bracing for that temporary closure of the Coral Towers that could leave hundreds of employees out of work. Our news learning that packages and letters were sent to employees of the hotel today. The union president telling us they're doing all that they can to limit a financial fallout. Our Joshua Williams has more.
Atlantis Coral Towers is temporarily closing its doors, and the union that represents hundreds of Atlantis workers is not happy about the move. So what's going to be the fallout? Well, I spoke to the union today. The announcement coming today. In a statement, Executive Vice President of Administration and Strategic Initiatives at Atlantis, Vaughn Roberts, says the tower will close on August 17th in order to finish plumbing repairs which were suspended earlier due to high occupancies. The statement adds that the closure is not unusual and that Atlantis has used the season to reduce operations for the past 20 years. But how do the workers feel? Bahamas Hotel Catering and Allied Workers Union President Darren Woods says they're doing all they can to limit income loss.
They're trying to get them to take some of that vacation time so it doesn't impact them negatively in terms of financial impact. Once you're able to find out the amount of persons who are affected, place of work, because you know all of the persons in the service area over there is pretty much affected. Once you find out the persons who have excess days, then they're able to, we're asking them to take those days.
While Atlantis has not revealed the exact number of impacted employees, Woods believes it's in the hundreds.
Also, we're working along with NIB for persons who don't have the time to be able to apply for the unemployment benefit at the same time. So those are some of the things that we're working on, and we hope to have that ironed out before the end of the month.
The closure will last around 8 weeks, and the union isn't the only one keeping a close eye on the situation. Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks for that, Josh. Well, East Grand Bahama Member of Parliament Kwesi Thompson questioning the current status of the Grand Lucayan Resort sale. There's nearly 3 months after a sale agreement was signed. Thompson bringing up the issue as he made his contribution to the debate on the Separated Accounts Bill 2025. The EastGB MP says the status of the hotel remains top of mind as the government invested money into the hotel.
The Grand Lucayan, as we have been informed, is no longer taking reservations. They are, in essence, proceeding to close. They are no longer taking reservations to when it comes to their ballroom and how they do business and so on. So we need to understand what is the plans with respect to the Grand Lucayan.
Government signed a heads of agreement with Concord Wilshire, a U.S.-based real estate and resort developer, for the redevelopment of the resort. Prime Minister Philip Davis said the $827 million investment will create 1,300 construction jobs and more than 1,700 permanent jobs. Thompson says there are still many questions left to be answered, saying employees have not been informed of the status of their employment. He also adds that there is no sign of demolition taking place at the property.
Was an agreement for sale signed? Was a conveyance signed? Was there the $120 million Was that in the bank? Was that transferred over to the government? We do not see any information, and the government has not been forthcoming with the information as to what is happening.
The opposition pushing back against newly tabled legislation that would introduce biometric voter cards in the Bahamas. With the next general election on the horizon, Free National Movement Deputy Leader Shannon Cartwright is raising red flags, calling government's approach rush and warning of potential risks to privacy, cybersecurity, and transparency. National Security Minister Wayne Munro gave notice of amendments to the Parliamentary Elections Act in the House of Assembly today. Munro says there will be a major shift in voter registration, replacing traditional paper cards with durable biometric polycarbonate ones. Prime Minister Philip Davis recently met with members from the FNM and the Coalition of Independents to discuss the proposed amendments, but Cartwright said that's not enough. Speaking with reporters outside Parliament, the FNM deputy leader accused government of steamrolling ahead without adequate public consultation.
We have concerns about how will it be that people's personal information will be transferred. We accept, and they do agree, that it requires legal assent from voters to have that transferred, but we want to know who are going to be the caretakers of this particular system. And when you're fundamentally talking about changing the voting culture in a democracy and here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, there is legitimate concerns about cybersecurity and how will this affect how Bahamians vote?
Cartwright says while the bill acknowledges the need for voter consent when transferring personal data, questions remain about who will manage the system and how Bahamians' information will be protected.
What are the potential blind spots? What are the plans to mitigate these concerns of interference and any broad-based concerns as it relates to the vulnerability of people's personal information when you're talking about the biometrics?
Well, government is defending its push to establish a national Junkanoo authority, insisting the proposed legislation is designed to elevate the cultural tradition, not dismantle it. It comes as tensions rise with the Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence. Our Delvardo Emmanuel has the story.
Junkanoo is no longer should be considered as just a parade for competition, but we should be looked at it as an international institution to bring revenue and financial economic benefit to those who are involved in Junkanoo.
Imagine Junkanoo not just as a parade, but a thriving year-round cultural industry. Youth, Sports and Culture Minister Mario Bowleg says that's the vision behind the National Junkanoo Authority Bill, now open for public consultation. While speaking with reporters outside of the House of Assembly this morning, Bowleg addressing growing pushback, particularly from the Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence, which has since suspended all Junkanoo-related activities. Bowleg says their concerns are misguided.
This bill in no way, form or fashion is to disband any Junkanoo corporation that exists in any family island. This is to work in collaboration with these corporations and associations for the greater good and betterment of Junkanoo.
The Culture Minister says the authority would serve as a central body capable of securing international funding, expanding programming, and taking the government hands out of the day-to-day operations.
If you read the bill, you will find out that the authority will be in a greater position to have more funding involved in the authority that will also help lift Junkanoo to the next level, and those who in New Providence or other in the family islands could receive much more funding.
Now, despite the pushback, the Culture Minister says the proposed bill has also received some positive feedback.
There are much more persons agree to this bill. And again, the media, you can go to the street, and those who would have reviewed the bill, and you will find out there are much more persons in Junkanoo and in the JCNP and these groups who have personally called me that agreed to this bill and did not like. The chairman himself agreed to the bill because he told me that himself.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Delvardo Emmanuel.
All right, thanks so much for that, Delvardo. Now, the JCNP hosted a meeting this evening at the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture. Our news team is on location and will continue to follow this developing story. Well, nice weather on this Wednesday evening. Wondering what else we can expect for the rest of the work week. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with your first look at weather. Greg, what can you tell us?
Yeah, thanks, Natalie. Welcome back, everybody, for a quick check on conditions on this Hump Day Wednesday. 86 degrees is our current temperature outside our studios. with a few clouds, east-southeast winds at 12 miles per hour, but it feels like very warm, 92 degrees. Satellite radar composite, upper level low, still spinning across our area. We have a drier slot behind that across the northwest and central Bahamas, but some moisture still coming up from the south. That's going to generate a few showers tonight through tomorrow, early part. Once it gets out of here, high pressure builds behind it. We're looking for some hazy conditions as well as some Saharan dust moves in. So it's going to be warm for the next several days. That's a quick check on conditions around the island. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come on our news, after decades of service, the British Legion Bahamas branch is receiving global praise with a high honor for their support of World War II veterans and the Bahamas Brass Band, marking 170 years in the country. We'll tell you all about the grand celebration they're planning straight ahead, and later meet the 4 Grand Bahamian athletes set to represent at this year's Goodwill Games. And that's all coming up when our news returns.
From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
In the Bahamas, island time is real. The history of Morris Lumber Company, established in 1945, is etched into the fabric of this proud island nation. It's a story that deserves to be celebrated in full color, and that's where we come in. Morris the Paint Place has been bringing color and vitality to homes and businesses across the Bahamas. Here, color is more than just a hue, it's a symbol of life. Together, we can paint a brighter future.
Whether you're battling a chronic condition or offsetting a new injury, Doctors Hospital's comprehensive rehab services offer the
The Bahamas branch of the British Legion is being recognized on the international stage after receiving the prestigious President International World War II Award, an honor presented by the British Legion International Headquarters. The Bahamas branch has been active for 80 years, working to ensure World War II veterans and their spouses continue to receive their entitled stipends. Chairperson Adina Monroe-Charlo, who joined the organization back in 2008, explains how seriously they take that responsibility and how it's closely monitored by their regional and global partners.
We take photographs and then we send a report to our regional office in Canada. Now, this has been going on, as I said, for me personally for 17 years. And so I'm just doing the job and making sure all the monies are accounted for, but not knowing that, we are being closely watched by the headquarters. And so we were able to attend this 35th International Conference 2 weeks ago. And on the last night, this award was presented to the Bahamas as number 1. Out of 48 countries, there is no signs of financial corruption in the international audits.
She adds it's a proud moment, not just for the branch, but for the entire country.
I was proud to be a Bahamian at the conference, and not knowing that our colleagues, our international colleagues, also had the respect for the Bahamas to give us this award. And so I am humbled by it, I will continue to do the work. We only have 13 widows left, and I will do my best to carry out the duties that has been left behind by these World War II veterans to take care of their wives now. And the Bahamas should be proud, not of me, but as of what we had accomplished in this particular military field.
Well, one of the oldest musical institutions in the country is preparing to mark a historic milestone. The Bahamas Brass Band is celebrating 170 years of performances across the country and the world. To commemorate the occasion, the band will host a joint concert with the Trinidad and Tobago Police Band at the Grand Lucayan Resort in Freeport on Saturday, July 26. Tickets are available at the 17 Center. Director Bishop Barry B. Morrow says audiences are in for a treat with world-class musicians and a special guest appearance.
They're coming with their pans, all of their steel drums, and they're going to give us that good Trini Calypso music gospel. And it's going to be an exciting time. But of course, the Bahama Brass Band is coming with the Peas, Soup, and Dough Jesus music. And we're going to thrill the room. It's going to be an exciting time of celebrations. And we are inviting the entire Grand Bahama community. As a matter of fact, wherever you are in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, we invite you to come.
Coming up in sports, JJ is back on the floor for the Liberty, and the finals MVP picked up right where she left off. A bronze medal for Bahamas equestrian in Le Mont-Bavon, France, nailed the pronunciation, and Jazz goes yard again in a huge division win for the Yankees.
3 advanced facilities at Collins Avenue, Carmichael Road in Cable Beach means your personalized plan for care is just a visit away. From physiotherapy to occupational therapy and speech and language pathology, our team approach is all about rebuilding together. For a full list of services, visit doctorshosp.com/rehabilitation. Doctors Hospital, trusted and best care now. Isn't your health worth it?
Inti Corporation is on the move, day by day, panel by panel. Our commitment to sustainable energy becomes more real. With each milestone, Inti redefines what is possible. Not only are the Lucayan solar power projects on the island of Grand Bahama growing in scale, they are setting a new standard for energy independence in the Bahamas. These state-of-the-art solar farms at the Fairfield and Devon sites, once completed, will harness the power of the sun to generate 9.5 megawatts of clean, sustainable energy. Inti is on the move as a beacon of progress and innovation that is rapidly transforming our energy landscape. Witness the future of sustainable energy unfolding on the island of Grand Bahama as Inti Corporation shines brighter than ever. Inti Corporation, powering your world, powering your future.
Concert is going to be dealing with how life was in the Bahamas in the past, what has changed, and what still remains the same. I'll be taking them down, I hope, not Memory Lane, but Memory Avenue. There's a big area we're going to be covering.
Nassau, get ready for a night you simply won't want to miss. For the first time in over 40 years, experience an evening with Eddie Menace live at the Amphitheater, Nassau Cruise Port.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Marknut. Let's do show. Great news for the New York Liberty, bad news for the rest of the league. Jonquil Jones is back, and the defending champs are whole again. Last night, the reigning WNBA Finals MVP made her long-awaited return to the Liberty lineup and did not disappoint. She finished with 18 points, grabbed 9 rebounds, and helped New York control the paint as they defeated the Indiana Fever 98-84. It marked her first game back since an ankle injury on June 19th, and without Jones, New York struggled through a 10-game span, going just 5-5. Her return immediately anchored the Liberty's defense, created space with her shooting, and her rebounding gave the team second-chance opportunities. New York is second overall in the league and leads the Eastern Conference at 16-6. They have a difficult road trip ahead with 13 of their last 23 games away from the Barclays Center.
It felt great to be back out there. Obviously, it's been a while since I've been on the court, but my teammates have held it down while I was out, and everybody was excited for me to be back in, and I was just as excited. So, I really enjoyed the moment. Had a lot of fun.
Team Bahamas closed out the World Clubs tournament with a strong podium finish for a second consecutive year. The team of Sienna Jones, Marlo Pinder, Alana Pryfran, and Connor Watkins claimed the bronze medal at the prestigious equestrian event in Le Mont-Bavent, France.
I'm also very happy with our performance and our teamwork. I'm thankful for everybody who contributed, like Sophie, Evie, my coach.
Coached by Rai Birch, the team competed against some of the top youth riders from around the globe and delivered a series of consistent performances to secure their spot on the medal stand. Their success marks another milestone for equestrian sports in the country and Bahamian representation on the international stage.
It was a tough first day, but we managed to put it together for the second day, and they came up with a good result after a good long sleep, and they were able to keep the focus for the second and third round to finish third.
The New York Yankees are in the midst of a heated race for the American League East, and Jazz Chisholm Jr. was the catalyst behind last night's pivotal win against the division leaders. Chisholm hit his 18th home run of the season in the Yankees' 5-4 win over the Toronto Blue Jays last night at the Rogers Center in Toronto. He drove in a 3-run homer in the first inning off Max Scherzer to give New York an early 3-0 lead. That shot traveled 407 feet with an exit velo of 110 miles per hour. The Yankees snapped Toronto's 11-game home win streak and cut the AL East gap to just 3 games.
This is the team that we gotta be for the rest of the half, and we know we gotta give it all we got.
That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. So you rather the home runs come at the Derby where it doesn't count, or in the regular season like this?
Of course in the regular season, but all is back whole in New York with JJ back.
You're welcome, New York. Back to the studio.
Still ahead on our news tonight, we introduce you to the 4 Grand Bahamian athletes set to represent the Bahamas at this year's Goodwill Games. And Greg is back with your extended weather forecast when our news continues. Stay with us.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
He took a PVC pipe because I questioned him. Whilst I was 7 months pregnant, and he hit me, crossed my stomach with it, pushed me down on the bed, and he would rape me.
I told his daughters he's a rapist because that's what he's been doing to me when they're now.
He always told me that this was something that fathers do with their daughters to express love and affection.
Because I am a woman, my children are presumed to take the citizenship of their father.
For God's sake, I mean, just morally, domestically, we are entitled to correct the problem that was done in 1972, 1973 when the Constitution was made.
We are overrun with sexual predators, but even worse, we are overrun with people who protect them.
The concert is going to be dealing with how life was in the Bahamas in the past, what has changed, and what still remains the same. I'll be taking them down, I hope, not Memory Lane, but Memory Avenue. There's a big area we're going to be covering.
Nassau, get ready for a night you simply won't want to miss. For the first time in over 40 years, experience an evening with Eddie Minutes live at the Amphitheater, Nassau Cruiseport.
This is our news. Welcome back. First, we'll take a look at the tropics. Nothing much happening in the tropics right now across the main tropical belt. A couple of tropical waves out there. 1 or 2 between Africa and the Caribbean. One just in the central Atlantic, really not showing much in terms of any organization. The other one approaching the Leeward Islands with some showers and thunderstorms there. The rest of the Caribbean quiet, and across the Gulf of Mexico also quiet, but closer to home we still have that big upper level that's spinning across the area, generating some showers and thunderstorms and a little bit of instability. but it's going to be sliding towards the west and into the Gulf of Mexico. High pressure will build behind that across our area, and we expect some Saharan dust as well, so we're looking for some hazy conditions as well. Up just across northern Florida, there is a trough of low pressure that is expected to slide into the Gulf of Mexico. That trough of low pressure will continue to keep things a little unsettled in Nash Hurricane Center. We'll continue to monitor that for the next couple of days for some possible tropical development, so we'll continue to watch this one as well. Taking a look at the future forecast, most of the moisture staying north across the northern Florida area. Some residual moisture hanging out across the area through Thursday. And then by Friday, we expect things to be clearing out. High pressure builds across the area. And of course, breezy conditions expected. Speaking of breezy conditions, boating in the northwest and central Bahamas tonight to tomorrow, your winds will be out of the east to southeast, 15 to 20 knots. Caution flag in place. Seas running 4 to 6 feet. High tide is at 7:41 tonight. Low tide takes place at 2:12 in the morning. Southeast Bahamas, advisory down there. East-southeast winds 15 to 25 knots, and they will gust to near gale south of Inagua, so we're asking boaters to stay out of the water down there. Rough 5 to 8 foot seas expected over open waters. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In your extended forecast, beautiful conditions expected for the next several days. High pressure builds in across the area. It's going to be breezy. We have some Saharan dust that should take us into the weekend, but high pressure will stay in charge through next week. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody.
All right, thanks so much, Craig. While we are just weeks away from this year's Goodwill Games and ahead of the competition, we caught up with 4 of the Bahamian team members living in Grand Bahama. Our Sasha Lightborn has this story.
The Goodwill Games is a regional swim meet held every summer. This year, it's all happening next month in Barbados. But here's what's different this time around. The meet allows younger age categories to participate. There's a category for boys and girls ages 8 and under, as well as the 9 to 10 age category. The Bahamas fielded a full team with 4 out of the 40 swimmers hailing from Grand Bahama. One of them is 9-year-old Nyla Benaby.
I want to do my best and I want to have fun, and I also want to accomplish a lot of things during this meet.
Jamari Bridgewater and Kimani Cooper will join Nyla on their quest to achieve their 3rd consecutive title for Team Bahamas.
It feels good putting all that practice in and training to my best, like medal in every race that I do.
My expectations is to come out with a lot of medals and a trophy, a high point trophy.
Longtime swimmer Harold Simmons looking forward to once again representing the Bahamas on the world stage.
It's always an excellent thing to be chosen to represent your country, and it is a good feeling knowing that you get to go there and do your best, and everybody from your country is watching and supporting you. I just want to get personal best and do my best in all my races.
Coach Ashton Knowles says preparation for the big meet remains the same as the swimmers are coming off the heels of the Bahamas National Swimming Championships.
To be honest, it's kind of the same process as any other meet, like nationals. We kind of prepare the same way. So it's really no different for them. It's just about the mindset that you're going to an international meet. So the excitement of it kind of adds to, I guess, the intensity of it.
The team is scheduled to leave for Barbados on August 13th. The games will run from the 15th through the 17th. Reporting for our news, I'm Sasha Lightborn.
All right, good luck to those Grand Bahamian swimmers, and thanks so much to Sasha for that report. If you want to see it again, it's available now at ournews.bs. And with that, we thank you so much for joining us for Our News Tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.
Hi, and thank you for watching. I'm Natalia Hall. Be sure and hit that